March 8, 2014, began like any other day. Malaysia Airlines flight MH370, a Boeing 777, prepared for a routine flight. The plane was scheduled to fly from Kuala Lumpur to Beijing. On board were 227 passengers and 12 crew members. The takeoff was normal and everything seemed fine. Then, 40 minutes after takeoff, the plane vanished from radar screens. The last communication from the plane was over Vietnamese airspace. No distress signals were sent. No Mayday calls were made. The plane simply disappeared. The disappearance of MH370 sent shockwaves around the world. It quickly became one of the biggest aviation mysteries in history. Governments, aviation experts, and the public were baffled. How could a modern aircraft, equipped with sophisticated technology, simply vanish without a trace? The disappearance of MH370 triggered an unprecedented international search effort. Countries from around the world joined forces to locate the missing plane. The initial focus was on the South China Sea, where the plane was last detected by civilian radar. Malaysia, as the country of the plane's origin, took the lead in the search. Australia, with its expertise in maritime search and rescue, joined the effort. China, with the majority of passengers on board, also played a significant role. Ships and aircraft from multiple nations scoured the seas, looking for any sign of the missing plane. The search for MH370 was a race against time. The longer the plane remained missing, the slimmer the chances of finding survivors. As days turned into weeks, the world watched and waited for news, hoping for a miracle. As the surface search yielded no results, attention shifted to a more daunting possibility. The plane had crashed into the ocean. Analysis of satellite data suggested that MH370 had deviated significantly from its planned route, and may have flown for hours after its last communication. The underwater search focused on a remote area of the southern Indian Ocean, thousands of kilometers off the coast of Australia. This vast and unforgiving stretch of ocean presented immense challenges for the search teams. The depths were extreme, the currents were strong, and the seabed was largely unmapped. Despite the challenges, the underwater search continued for years. Specialized equipment, including autonomous underwater vehicles, was deployed to scan the seabed for any sign of wreckage. The search teams faced numerous setbacks, including equipment malfunctions and harsh weather conditions. After years of fruitless searching, a glimmer of hope emerged in late 2024. New data, analyzed by independent experts, suggested a possible location for the wreckage of MH370. This new data, combined with advancements in underwater search technology, reignited hopes of solving the mystery. Ocean Infinity, a US-based exploration company, proposed a new search based on this data. Ocean Infinity had been involved in the previous search for MH370 and had a proven track record in deep-sea exploration. The Malaysian government, eager to provide answers to the families of the missing, agreed to the new search. The new search area covered a smaller, more focused region of the southern Indian Ocean. Ocean Infinity expressed confidence in the data and believed that this new search had a high probability of success. The world watched with cautious optimism, hoping that this time the mystery of MH370 would finally be solved. Section 5. The Price of Truth. Ocean Infinity's contract. The contract between Ocean Infinity and the Malaysian government was a testament to the high stakes involved in the search for MH370. Ocean Infinity would receive a substantial payment of $70 million if they located substantive wreckage from the plane. This no-find, no-fee agreement reflected the company's confidence in their abilities and the importance of finding answers. The contract also highlighted the financial burden that the search for MH370 had placed on Malaysia. The previous search efforts had cost hundreds of millions of dollars, and the new search was a significant investment. However, the Malaysian government recognized the importance of providing closure for the families and the world. The contract stipulated that the search would last for 18 months, with the main operations planned for the favorable weather conditions between January and April 2025. This time frame added a sense of urgency to the search, as every day counted in the race against time and the elements. Section 6. Waiting for answers. Families seek closure. For the families of the 239 people on board MH370, the years since the plane's disappearance had been a living nightmare. The lack of answers, the uncertainty, and the constant speculation had taken an immeasurable toll. They had endured countless false hopes, endured the pain of not knowing what happened to their loved ones. While they welcomed the renewed search efforts, the families also expressed frustration and anger. They criticized the Malaysian government for the delays in resuming the search and for the lack of transparency throughout the investigation. They demanded to be more involved in the search process and to have access to all the data and information related to the case. The families also continued to seek compensation from Malaysia Airlines, Boeing, and other parties involved. They argued that these entities had a moral and legal obligation to provide financial support to the families who had lost so much. The search for MH370 was not just about finding a missing plane, it was about seeking justice and accountability for those who had been lost. Section 7. Unanswered questions. The 2018 investigation. In 2018, a safety investigation report was released, but it provided little comfort to the families of those on board MH370. The report concluded that the plane's course had been deliberately altered, suggesting that it was a deliberate act, rather than a technical malfunction or a sudden catastrophic event. However, the investigation was unable to determine who was responsible for the change in course or what their motives might have been. The backgrounds, financial affairs, training, and mental health of the captain and co-pilot were scrutinized, but no suspicious findings were reported. The investigation remained inconclusive, leaving many questions unanswered. The lack of a definitive explanation fueled speculation and conspiracy theories. Some theories suggested pilot suicide, while others pointed to hijacking or even a deliberate act by a state actor. Without concrete evidence, these theories remain just that, theories. The truth behind the disappearance of MH370 remained elusive. Section 8. Pieces of the puzzle. Debris and theories. Despite the lack of a wreckage site, several pieces of debris, confirmed or suspected to be from MH370, have been recovered over the years. These pieces, mostly found along the coasts of Africa and islands in the Indian Ocean, provided tantalizing clues about the plane's final moments. The debris, which included parts of the wing, the flaperon, and the interior cabin, were analyzed by experts. The analysis confirmed that the debris belonged to MH370 and provided insights into the plane's possible trajectory and the conditions of its impact. However, the debris alone could not provide a definitive answer to the mystery. Based on the analysis of the debris, satellite data, and flight simulator simulations, investigators developed theories about MH370's final moments. The most prevalent theory is that the plane flew south over the Indian Ocean until it ran out of fuel, eventually crashing into the sea. However, without the plane's black boxes, which recorded flight data and cockpit audio, the exact sequence of events remains unknown. Section 9. MH370, an enduring enigma. The disappearance of Malaysia Airlines flight MH370 remains one of the most perplexing mysteries of our time. Despite years of searching, countless hours of investigation, and advancements in technology, the truth behind what happened on that fateful day in March 2014 continues to elude us. The renewed search efforts by Ocean Infinity offer a glimmer of hope, but even if the wreckage is found, it may not provide all the answers. The black boxes, crucial to understanding the events leading to the plane's disappearance, may have been damaged beyond repair or lost forever in the vastness of the ocean. The legacy of MH370 is one of profound loss, unanswered questions, and the enduring power of mystery. It serves as a stark reminder of the fragility of life and the limits of our understanding. The search for answers may continue for years to come, driven by the pursuit of truth, the need for closure, and the hope that one day, the mystery of MH370 will finally be solved.